Whenever you're ready.
Well, sure you all know already. My name is James. The topic I chose is cancer. Didn't really choose it for personal reasons, only because it can really affect anyone. Cancer is a serious disease that may be prevented and curable. More than 500,000 people are expected to die of cancer this year. That's more than 1,500 a day, which is kind of crazy. An average of half men and a third of women will develop cancer this year also. Today I will discuss for you what cancer is, a couple ways you might be able to prevent it, and some ways it's treated. To start off, I'm going to explain what cancer is. Cancer is a condition of uncontrolled growth in cells in the body. What basically happens is cells continue to grow at a strange rate, and then they don't die like they're supposed to. They all accumulate in one place, so they don't really originate in multiple places. What happens is they form tumors, and then tumors destroy all the healthy cells in your body, and that's what makes you sick. There's two types of tumors. You have benign and malignant. Benign tumors aren't cancerous. I really don't know why they're there. They don't really affect you too much, and they also can be removed. The ones that you want to look out for are the malignant tumors. Malignant tumors are cancerous, definitely, and they grow out of control. They can start in one place in the body and can move all around and spread throughout the body, which is pretty dangerous. Like for example, if there's a cancer growth in the prostate, it can move around to maybe like your heart or something, but it will still be classified as prostate cancer because that's where it originated. Next, I'll talk about ways to prevent cancer from forming. A person can prevent cancer kind of many different ways, going from your lifestyle to maybe like your diet and just the way you carry yourself in general. Well, one thing that can definitely help prevent is smoking and drinking. Smoking for sure, because it definitely causes lung cancer and things like that. I don't think smoking is good for you at all in general, but it definitely can cause cancer. If you don't smoke, you probably run the risk of not developing cancer. Drinking also, I think you can develop cancer in the liver, pretty sure, from drinking. And also you can get other bad things from drinking too. I mean, you can do it, just in moderation, not all crazy like I know some people do. Another way to maybe prevent it is be active in your lifestyle, like working out. Like you don't have to be crazy gym freak or whatever, but just walking every day is a good workout for you. Just to get the heart moving, get some oxygen in your system, you know, your body flowing pretty good. There's this thing we did in one of my classes for nutrition, an in-body test that could maybe help you regulate your fitness or whatever. Basically what the in-body test does is it calculates your weight and your caloric intake, your fat percentage, and it basically tells you things you need to work on within your body to stay healthy. Another thing is your diet. Basically, you eat healthy, you're going to feel good, your body will work fine, and that's exactly what you want in order to prevent any type of disease, especially cancer. Eating healthy basically is just make sure you get all your major food groups. You definitely want to eat your vegetables, drink milk, that's good for your bones, and then also drinking a lot of water is really good for you. People think, oh, like glass of water a day is pretty good. But what you want to do is drink as much water as you can without kind of, I would say, like maybe it's overloaded. You don't want to overdo it, but you definitely want to keep yourself hydrated, because being hydrated is good for the body, and it definitely helps you function at a high level. Finally, I'll discuss the treatments of cancer. One treatment of cancer, which is the oldest one, is surgery. Surgery definitely offers the greatest chance of curing cancer. 60% cancer patients receive surgery from operation. Surgery is used to prevent, diagnose, stage, and treat cancer. It can also relieve discomfort that comes from cancer, like pain in the body and different things like that. Also, cancer can be treated by radiation. And lastly, chemotherapy, like used from drugs. You get chemotherapy, and then they give you drugs, and supposedly the chemo helps the drugs move through the blood easier. And then that's how it spreads through the body, it spreads through the blood. Blood goes everywhere. Makes sense. There's two main goals to chemotherapy. One is to cure cancer, which is why they use chemo to spread the medicine around easier. Hopefully, it attacks the cancer faster. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. So that's one main goal of it. And then another one is to not just cure it, but to control it. So if you can't really cure it, controlling it is your best bet to kind of prolong your life in general, and then to kind of give them a little bit more time to figure out exactly what to do with it. In conclusion, cancer is a condition of uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells that evolve into tumors. Fatty foods, smoking, and drinking all have an effect on the chances of developing cancer. Treatments for cancer include surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. Anyone can become a victim of cancer, but we can decrease our chances of getting cancer by being more informed on the disease and how to prevent it.
Sure. You can pass it off to somebody. Can somebody keep time for the speakers, please? Thank you. You may have a tough time keeping time for yourself later. Maybe you could lend her your phone when you're speaking.
I have a little bit left, so we'll go.
All right. All right, Alexis, what did you think?
I thought your teaching advice was good. I like how you started off with the facts. So I thought that was good. You didn't have any visuals, but when you stated that there were two types of cancer, and one's benign and one's not, I think most of us would picture something small in comparison or contrast to something that's really big. And I like how you stated that it's the types of cancer, prevent it and treat it. Okay, yeah. And I thought your organization was good. You were kind of straying off from looking at the paper to us, and you had a few pauses, so that's fine. You had a good time. You used it well and effectively, and I thought that your transitions could be slightly improved, but I like how you just went for it. You just said and the next thing I'm going to talk about. So that was good too. and your conclusion, you ended off with a fact, but you didn't, you should state, or give credit to your citations, involve who said it, and from what university or something, just, cited. And other than that, it was good. It was good.
All right, let's start with the good stuff. All right.
All right, cool. At least it's something.
No, there's some good stuff. Look, it's organized. You got a topical method of organization. You have a preview at the beginning of the speech telling us these are the things that you're going to talk about. At the end of the speech, you have a summary that reminds us of those points. So we should be able to retain the basics of your speech pretty well. And in the body of the speech, I thought the transitions were a little abrupt sometimes. It was just kind of like, boom, here we are in the next topic. I think they could be a little bit smoother, but it was clear that you were on another topic. So organizationally, I think you're doing a good job. I feel like you've got the right idea there. Content is a little bit more problematic because I think you keep it at a very surface level. I don't know that I got much from this speech that I wouldn't have known, a long time ago. It just feels like, well, okay, cancer's a big killer. There are benign tumors and malignant tumors. And there are 3 different treatments that they use for cancer. And thank you very much. I'm going, that doesn't add much to my knowledge of the subject. It seems kind of superficial. And so I think you need to have a little bit more depth. Maybe the way to go about doing this would have been to narrow the focus and maybe talk about the 3 kinds of treatments for cancer. Make all of your general stuff about cancer as small, a little bit smaller, but you could keep it at the general level that you have it, and then maybe talk about the treatments and develop those each a little bit more. As it is, it just feels like this is a very sketchy introduction to the subject. I didn't hear any sources being cited, and that's a problem. At the beginning, I thought you've got a good dramatic statistic to kind of get us interested. 1,500 people a day dying from cancer. Okay, that's pretty good. And then you said, and half of men get cancer each year, and a third of women. I'm going, that means in next year I'm screwed. And, the rest of you, are in the same situation. I think there's a statistic there that you are reading incorrectly. I know that you got that information from somewhere, but you've interpreted incorrectly, and there's something that's a little bit problematic, and that affects your credibility as a speaker. So you want to make sure that you get those things. That was the closest thing that you had to a source that you're citing, and I'm going, and it's not being presented correctly, and that's obvious there at the beginning. So those are the big issues, are the content and the citations. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is not in the room. You have no supporting sensory aids. All right, you're supposed to have, visual materials, auditory aids, something like that. You got nothing. Bupkis. And so evaluating that is not going to go well. All right? And I think you know that. So we'll put it there and make it as simple as that. All right, thank you.